This is the update I prayed I'd never have to give. Marquise Gunner, an innocent, quiet, respectful 18-year-old, has taken the deal. He will be pleading guilty to a felony because the system broke him, not because he's guilty, not because the evidence supported it, not because justice was served, but because the 24th Judicial Circuit Judge Junkin, DA Andy Hamlin, and everyone behind this made sure he felt he had no way out except to take whatever deal they threw at him. And I'll be honest with you, I'm more pissed off about this case than any case I've ever covered because of what they did to this kid was not justice. It was pressure, manipulation, threats, fear, and psychological warfare, and it worked. They broke him. Let me make one thing very, very clear because this right here exposes the corruption more than anything else. Just 3 days ago, DA Andy Hamlin stood in that courtroom screaming, not talking, not arguing, screaming, throwing his hands around, raising his voice, being theatrical and dramatic, like he was auditioning for a role. And what did he say? He said Marquise was so dangerous to society that his bond must not be lowered. If he were released, he would most definitely hurt more people, might do something worse. He absolutely could not be allowed out of jail. He portrayed Marquise like he was the most dangerous person in the entire country. He did everything in his power to make this kid sound like a violent monster. And now, just 3 days later, 3 days, same week, the same Andy Hamlin offered Marquise a deal where he would plead guilty to a felony, walk out of jail immediately, return to the dangerous society he supposedly couldn't be trusted in. Let that sink in. If Andy Hamlin actually believed Marquise was dangerous, if he truly believed Marquise was a threat, he never would have offered a deal that puts him right back out on the street. This proves Hamlin was lying in court. It proves his dramatic speech was an act. It proves he misled everyone. It proves the state never believed its own story. It proves this was never about safety, and it proves this was never about justice. It was about breaking an 18-year-old innocent kid, and they succeeded. Let me be very clear. Right now, they're celebrating. They think they won. Here's what the public needs to understand. This deal is not freedom. This deal is a trap because when Marquise pleads guilty to a felony, he will be given a suspended sentence and probation, conditions he must follow perfectly. And I guarantee you, it will not be long before they slap him with some ridiculous, exaggerated, or completely made up charge. Anything they can so they can violate him and send him to prison. That's the game. I know what they're doing. This is what they do. This is how they operate. This is how corrupt systems bury people permanently. They couldn't win in a fair fight. They couldn't win with evidence because they didn't have any freaking evidence. And they definitely couldn't win with the truth. They broke him down until he gave up. Now let's revisit what happened just 3 days ago. Hamlin screams that Marquise is a ticking time bomb who must stay in jail. 2 days later, Hamlin offers a deal to release him into the public immediately. So which is it, Andy? Which is it? Is Marquise too dangerous to release? Or did you just need a conviction? Did you just need a conviction, a felony on Marquise? Because that is one of your ways to assure that Marquise's dream and what he was trying to do and what he was taking the steps to do of joining the military to get out of that freaking horrible town is gone. That will not happen with the felony on his record. Hamlin and Junkin know that, and that's all they wanted. The last thing those two racist pieces of shit want to see is Marquise Gunner be successful in life. Now, don't get me wrong. This does not mean he won't be successful in life. It just means he will not be able to follow out his dream of the military. But this just shows that's all they cared about. Are you going to tell me that magically somehow, if you plead guilty to a charge, then you're no longer a danger to society? Every person with a functioning brain can see the contradiction plainly. This proves Hamlin lied. Like I said from the very minutes after the hearing, Theatrics replaced evidence, and fear-mongering replaced truth. This was about control, and this was about power. This was about appearance, not justice. And now, an innocent young man is a branded felon because of it. He was forced into it. Let's talk about what 11 months in a county jail does to a kid that has never in his life been in trouble at all. No sunlight, no privacy, no hope, no safety, no mental health care, no real idea of when he will get out, and no ability to defend himself, no resources. Then add a $750,000 bond that was never fair, a DA dragging out the case, the judge refusing to listen, system stacked against him, and they wore him down. You can only break a man so many times before he finally says, fine, whatever you want, just let me out of this hellhole. Because I don't know how many of you have ever been inside the Lamar County Jail. It is not a place I would want my dog to spend the night in. And that's the truth. They knew exactly what they were doing from the very beginning. And this definitely 100% proves they don't have a case, and they know that. Which, again, I've been saying that. I've been saying this whole time, there is no way in hell they will ever let this go to trial, because they know they do not have a chance in any world of a jury convicting this young man. They know that. That's not justice. That's coercion. And every attorney in this state knows it. And it's not Markey. The real danger is a district attorney who can stand in the courtroom screaming that someone is too dangerous to be released, and then turn around 48 hours later and offer him an immediate release for a plea deal, for a guilty plea deal. That's danger. That is corruption, and that is abuse of power. That is the kind of behavior that destroys public trust, destroys court integrity, and ruins life. And now they will use this felony conviction to watch him like a hawk, waiting for any minor slip up, because the goal has always been to eventually send him to prison long term. And this is step one. Forced plea does not erase the truth. A guilty plea does not erase the corruption. A deal does not erase the misconduct in that courtroom. Anything, this just proves it more. It proves they knew they couldn't win fairly. And it proves they knew their case had nothing to it. It proves they knew the timeline exposed it. It proves that they knew their witness. It proves they knew their interview forced a false confession. And it proves they knew the stolen weapon accusation is gone. It proves that they knew their narrative is gone. So they did what corrupt systems always do. They crushed the kid before he could fight back. This is not the ending. This is the beginning of accountability. Because now the public sees the contradiction. The public sees the coercion. The public sees the manipulation and the hypocrisy. And everyone should be asking, why would a DA release someone he claims is too dangerous to breathe air outside the jail, as long as that person helps him get a win? That is the question that will haunt this case. And it's the question we will make sure the entire country hears. Because justice was not served, it was destroyed. And we're not staying quiet about it. And just like they're going to be watching him like a hawk, well, we already have things that we have found. And this is just going to make us dig deeper. And we have some people we're watching as well. And we know what you're up to. We know, Mr. Hamlin. We know about your little secret. And if nothing else has stressed you out, what I just said, I know did. Because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Agent D. Baker, and this is Truth Recon.